if you're watching this, it means I followed through and made that follow-up video I mentioned. Now, I still think Wuthering Waves is a world building problem. However, I think I dislike how it's being handled, the world building, and honestly now, the storytelling to a certain extent. Now, what you're going to see later on is just kind of going more in depth with that. But if you want to skip all that and you want to care about the intro right now, then let's do that. So right here, the 2.7 live stream, all will be revealed in version 2.7. I highly doubt all will be revealed. For example, in the trailer we're about to, let's just play actually. What we see now is Galbrenna, the new banner character. So don't expect Augusta or to make an appearance. It is what it is. Expect Cartafia though, because she is the main character of Septimon, Septimon, Ragoon, and Renacita. Would you be surprised? Because she's not really been in it after 2.2. But no, believe it or not, she is. As well as the Rover. Well, obviously the Rover's the main character. What can't they do? Now, watch this for yourself. It's a really great trailer. No sound because I don't want to get distracted. I know for a fact my dubasso will be like, ooh, shiny trailer. What are the problems with Wuthering Waves again? I know that's what I'd do. So right here, she looks really cool, obviously. They want to save a new character. I'm skipping for Quion, who you'll see. We've all seen the Bayonetta gameplay by now at this point. Obviously, I've pre-watched this as well, just so I'm not seeing it for the first time. Here's the issue I've got. They're introducing this brand new character, right? I don't understand how he fits into the story. Now, before you start typing going, well, that's because you didn't pay attention. I know that he is from Huanglong, and he's after Scar, who is now in Renacita. We know this from, I think, 2.4, 2.5. So we know that's why he's there, that's why he's made his way. But he feels so kind of forced in. It's just kind of like, well, we kind of need him in the story, don't we? We kind of need him there. Like, sure. Which I guess works, except I don't think that's been brought upon. There is no world building to Quion's entrance. He's just there. And that's the issue. That's the problem I've got. Where it would be nice if they referenced this a little, sooner at least, or just anywhere. Like, we finally get Carlotta back, which I've been praying for. Oh my god, she's alive! We all knew that. We all know that she's quote-unquote trapped in the Lost Beyond. And obviously this is going to all... In fact, there's a great comment I want to share with you. It's a firm believer in how it should have been Ayuno in 2.6, and me too. And same with 2.7, I'm a firm believer that, because I know for a fact where this is going. I know for a fact Rover's going to magically save the day, when it should be Cartafia. The whole purpose is Galbrenna's there to kill Cartafia to stop the Frenodian. They've built upon that expertly. That's nice world building, and that's where there's a storytelling problem. Okay? Because we're getting to the point where, okay, but you're not really telling Cartafia's story anymore. You've introduced all the nice settings, you've set the stage for all of this. And right here, in a great reply, by the way, I might add. In fact, it's so great, I'm just going to hide it myself. It diminishes Rover in a way. If everything he does is special, it stops being special. Like him anchoring Guyuno back into existence should have felt more magical and climactic. Instead, I'm sat there practically waiting for the plot demanded in Aspel, which is what I'm expecting with this. I'm fully expecting Rover saved the day. How did you do that? Plot demanded it. Hopefully, this isn't too long or just too rambly. And hopefully I've got the point across. Because it's got everything it needs to just be a phenomenal story and phenomenal game. It's like so close to being there, and they just keep fumbling on what I keep saying. If this is a two-phase banner, right? Phase 1, I'm going to keep saying this, Phase 1 is going to be absolutely fantastic. It's going to do everything you want. It's going to have great world building, great storytelling. The presentation is going to be immaculate. It's going to set the stage for a damn near perfect climax. And then Phase 2, with Quion on the banner, it's just going to be, hey, have you seen Galbrenna shoot Tacit Discords yet? You want to see her shoot the Frenodian? Well, that's where the Rover comes in, and he does all that, and it's just, they really dropped the ball. They dropped the ball so bad in Phase 2, and that's where I need Wuthering Waves to just listen. It's great for going back to, like, a quote-unquote darker theme, but the way Renacita's been going, I don't have I don't have the best hopes. I'm going to be honest. Is it hype, cool, horrifying moments? Sure. Is it going to be profound, deep, and meaningful with long-lasting stakes at the end of 2.7? I don't think so. Anyway, enjoy the rest of the video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Stay refreshing. Alright, so you're watching this. I've decided to make a follow-up video to my Wuthering Waves as a world building problem, which is this video right here. Now, I'm worried some people will be like, what do you mean by that? The story was great. The story was great. But I'm not talking about the storytelling. Obviously, the presentation has improved almost dramatically since 1.0. In fact, I think 1.3 was when they really nailed it. Hell, even 1.2, you could argue. Well, for me, it's the world build in this particular instance. So as you can see right here, we are holding hands with Ayuna, okay? And we've got the Lutheran bow behind us. I want you to do me a favor. Tell me what a Lutheran bow is and how it relates to the story. Now, why am I asking this? Well, over here, I decided we were going to ask AI. Clearly, I would do AI overlords know more than us. So I asked them quite simply, what is world building, the definition, and what is the definition of storytelling? Well, world building is the process of creating an imaginary world complete with its own geography, cultures, histories, politics, languages, religions, and rules. That serves as the setting as for the story, game, and that's all you need to know, basically. Storytelling is the art and practice of using words, images, sounds, or other forms of expression to convey a narrative, real or imagined, to an audience. And it's all about sharing a structured sequence of events, a story with characters. This delivered everything, in my opinion. The issue comes from, they drop little tidbits of like Lutheran bows, the process of anchoring, which as it turns out, thanks to some really helpful comments, that's what this is, we're anchoring Ayuna's existence. But they just kind of drop it in there. And some of the elements feel rushed. For example, in Phase 1, 2.6 with Vidius, I'm worried they're doing a Fenrico route. I was very vocal about this in 2.5. They introduced Fenrico, they introduced the plot surrounding him, and how he's going to interact with the story later on. And then they just decided, now we're going to kill him. Yeah, he's dead now, he's sacrificed himself, with no real build-up. That one negative for me, like the main negative at 2.5, is forgiven because the rest of it was handled really well, world building and storytelling. The problem I've got with 2.5 is there's a certain comment here. In fact, we're gonna go scroll and find it together. Oh, this is one here. I like this one. Limbus Company did this. Limbus Company are guilty of doing this all the time. The difference with Limbus Company is that really is a story-based game where they have the time to do this because it's a visual novel-esque style. Okay? Nothing about Wuthering Waves is visual novel in any regard, except maybe one cutscene where it's a mural, and it just goes by briefly. This comment here really dives deep into it, and I believe my comment was pretty much, yeah, here's my biggest issue with this comment here. You can read it yourself, like, I'm just trying to fast forwarding about this all the time. I want to put this in, like, I'm not trying to offend anybody here. This is just my personal opinion, and you know, it's on the internet, so people are going to be like, well, that's just stupid, right? But some people appear to be agreeing with me. There was one in particular. God, I can't find out where it is. Tell you what, I have a better way of finding it. Give me 1 second. I just want to say, yeah, editor, cut this. I'm the editor, by the way. I'm cutting all this. Now, Salty Goat really makes a good point here. Oh, it's a really great comment. And honestly, all the comments have been really fantastic. Like, some of the best comments I could have asked for. Really thought-engaging, thought-provoking, and making me question some things, as well as really helping me understand my own thoughts and feelings about this. I want you to read this comment. We'll just read the top line together. I think the world is stuck in a closed time-like curve Mobius strip, and because of Novikov's conjecture, or D-CTC similar things splitting things into probabilities, or decohered wave functions where only probabilities exist that are self-consistent with the loop, the world is completely deterministic. It has to be its own tail in a time loop. I say exactly here. I like your funny words, Magic Man. But let's dive a bit more into it, shall we? Right here, and I think that in of itself is a problem. It shouldn't take anyone great lengths to understand a plot like this. Wuthering Waves' story ain't that deep. It really is not that deep. Or it shouldn't be that deep. And that's because, like here, a lot of the elements introduced to set... Better yet. A lot of the settings, a lot of things that are hinted to serve the setting for the story or game, are just, at least in Phase 2, kind of swept aside from the rug. Avidius, once again, is the perfect example. Introduced in Phase 1, he was dropped in as a little Chekhov's gun. I think that's the right term, correct me if I'm wrong. Where, hey, he's going to be important further down the line for a specific plot at some point. Now here's the big problem, and I really want you to see this. In fact, we need to go back for this. I really want to show you the big problem with having Avidius introduced in Phase 1 of 2.6, briefly glossed over in 2.6 Phase 2, and you're thinking, oh, he's going to be introduced in the future. Here's the problem with that. In exactly 13 days, more or less, Ayuno's banner is going to be gone. And we have 2.7 of Wuthering Waves, and we'll introduce Galbrenna. And what's going to happen with Galbrenna? Well, she's back in Renacita to kill the Frenodian. And we've seen it in the trailers as the big climactic showdown with Cartafia. Where does Avidius fit into that plot? Where, in all of this, does Avidius go, hey, hold up, I need to make my mark? He's just forgotten about. And that's the problem. They have the opportunity to do some great things with the storytelling when they build upon the world building. The problem is, in Phase 2, they decide not to. I keep making this comparison, and I'm going to keep making it, because let me try and find a comment again. God, editor, cut this out again. And it's just me going, yeah, no worries. Yep, no worries. So normally, we have Phase 1, which is like free run. It's well thought out, all the world building is immaculate, it's really slow, it builds up to it, and then you get the epic storytelling moments that bring it together, then it's all nice. It's nice little bits of religion, lore, how characters work and interact, how the places and settings all work together, and then the story tells it through, really emotive. Like, free run's just, it's close to as perfect as possible, okay? Phase 2 is just solo leveling. It's like watching the first 12 episodes of free run and going, man, right. That was so cool, right? Let's go watch that. It's just, the immersion just really breaks off in favor of, okay, we need to really shill out the hype moments to really make sure people know, hey, here's the shit. Because I like Ayuno being a quote-unquote companion quest and a main quest. They've been doing it for quite a while. Renacita 2.0, Carlotta clearly was the main focus of that. She got a companion quest further down the line, sure, but she was the main character who followed us around. 2.1, once again, it's just kind of more of the same with like Zanny this time. 2.2, Cartafia. Sure, we had, what's her name, Cantarella. She was there, a very important character, but the main focus was Cartafia. The 2.4, the same with Looper, except the same thing happened. Phase 1, perfect. Really set things up. Phase 2, I felt was so rushed because they thought, man, we need to make Looper look as cool as possible, so people will pull for this new character before we leave her out of the story again. They don't need to do that. People are going to pull Looper because Phase 1 did a really fantastic job of really selling her. I just don't understand why they decide to go... It's like they have two different writing teams. Like, here's Phase 1's writing team up here, here's Phase 2's. It's just... Make it make sense to me. Because if I'm missing something, I really am. I don't want to ramble, I don't want to rant. But I really feel like something's missing. I know this is probably coming across as like, well, now you're just getting angry, yelling. I'm genuinely baffled how people think this is okay. I really am being like, don't take it too seriously. I'm investing time, money, and most importantly, the potential for fun into this. I think I've got a right to complain. I think everyone has a right to complain. Two comments I want to direct your attention to. The first one is, advise you do your feedbacks. I completely forgot it was a feedback form. You think minority voices matter? I see most teenagers like this recycled slop. Whatever. I said that's a dangerous mindset. Just because it's a minority voice doesn't mean it should stay quiet. Some people will agree, and then the voice gets louder. I misspelled the. Go ahead, laugh. However, we're thinking towards the sentiment getting more aggressive, like, off the topic, so, like there, a video game being invested time, money, potential for fun into. We should have a right to complain about it. If you're unhappy with something, speak up, because if you don't, it's going to stay making you unhappy, and you're going to resent it, which is what I'm doing right now. and hopefully more people will do. And the next one, I think we're trying to avoid the criticism of the game being a yapfest like 1.0. But yes, some things need to be clearer. With the world building. Because the storytelling is fine. They're doing the best with what they've done. It's just, they seem to ignore. It's like, oh, by the way, we're done. And you know what? Saying all this, maybe I am wrong. Maybe it's not a world building issue. Maybe it's a storytelling issue. It's never been a presentation issue at this point. It never has been. The presentation is probably close to, if not perfected at this point by Kuro Games. But I say right here, I wouldn't mind the Yapfest so much now because they've nearly mastered the art of presentation at this stage. Nobody's denying Wolverine Waves does not look beautiful every time you boot it up. Or you play the story or anything really. Nobody's denying that. I just wouldn't mind some more world building or set some things up for the things they introduced in Phase 2 mentioned in Phase 1. But, for example, the best one I can possibly give. This might be the wrong point here, but they say, like, chaos isn't a place in the usual sense. There was no build-up to this in Phase 1. And I feel like that's a big mistake. Chaos should have been mentioned in Phase 1, and then expanded upon in Phase 2. Can we all agree, like, this is the point I'm trying to make. Phase 1 is filled with so much. Honestly, make Phase 1 a big yap fest. Make it a 4 or 5 hour quest. You don't have to finish it all in one go. And hell, even add recaps. Honestly, if they add recaps to some important things, or you could go back and watch it, or just something to make us go, oh yeah, I remember this thing. Clearly, they've mentioned it before. Chaos. Instead, we just got, yeah, chaos is a place, or isn't a place in the usual sense. You go there, you anchor, lunar and bows, blah, blah, blah. It shouldn't need to be this huge, complicated... I feel like I'm lost in the sauce. I feel like I'm appearing erratic, and the second you do that, you lose credibility. At the end of the day, if you take anything away from this, it's that Phase 1 is vastly superior in every single way than Phase 2 of the story quests. Regardless of characters introduced, the plot, the setting, Wolverine Waves just keep fumbling Phase 2 in a way where I actually dislike getting to it. Because I think Phase 1 was handled so well. Like Avidius, the Hunter's Den, Murmur's Town even. Murmur's Town was a shit show of presentation, but it still did exactly what it needed to in terms of world building and storytelling. Even if it looked like ass. It looked like some Hoyoverse writers came in and thought, nah, we can save your game. Hopefully that makes sense. Hell, I can go further into points, but I don't want to ramble too long. It's already too long. Just, if you have complaints, air them. If you don't, that's cool. You can just stay happy with your game. But don't complain when someone like me goes, I didn't like this certain aspect of the game that I've invested a lot of things into. Don't turn around and go, well, now you're just hating on the game for hating on it. If I'm hating on the game, why am I being so passionate about it? Why would I still give two shits? What is this, Genshin Impact all of a sudden? Oh my god, he said the forbidden words. Don't ever say those again. Fuck off. Don't be like Genshin fans who will white knight the game to oblivion, being like, they'll white knight the game to oblivion for you daring to speak out one negative thing about it. Don't be better than that. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe if you like this. If you want more rants, by all means, let me know. I'm free to do it whenever. And if any creators, like, comments want to talk about this, I'm more than willing to. In an open debate, I'm willing to. That being said, have a great rest of your day, and don't forget to fill out your surveys for anything that make you unhappy. Alright? Peace. Stay refreshing. I don't know why I ended it like that. I'm gonna stop now.